Hey everybody, Joan Zodianz here, and welcome back to another episode of Spiritual Zundayz. This week we're going to be talking about Mars shifting into Aries and Saturn shifting into Capricorn. We're also going to be talking more about the Neptune and Mercury retrogrades and how that plays a part in these universal shifts. All right, so Mars shifts into Aries tomorrow on the 29th, and Saturn will shift into Capricorn on July 2nd, which is this Thursday. Now, we're just going to go over these two planets first individually, and then we'll put everything together so it makes more sense. Mars influences our physical power, how we assert ourselves, or our physical dominance in the physical realm. It's how we take action in certain situations. It can be physical stamina, our motivation, our drive to do things and to put ourselves out there and move physically, if that makes sense. And because the ruling sign of Mars is Aries, this is going to be a powerful movement for us as a society and as an individual, because it's going to last from the 29th of this month all the way until next year, so now until January of next year. We are going to see a lot of people being more aggressive and more vocal and more expressive during this time. We're also going to see people being more fearless. So it's not going to be all the way positive. There can be people who are very violent. Mars can be a very intense type of energy, and Aries is a very intense zodiac sign. So I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just trying to say you need to watch out for your own energy and make sure that you're not crossing the lines or pushing your physical limitations, because you could get in trouble or you could be harming people, and you don't want to do that. That's just bad karma. But I can't control you. I'm just letting you know, in your personal life and in society, you might have to watch for boiling points or triggering points in yourself and in other people, okay? Now, with Saturn still in retrograde, and it will continue to be in retrograde when it shifts into Capricorn, we know that, let's backtrack. So we know Saturn influences our limitations, our boundaries, it's our responsibilities, and the ruling, it rules over Capricorn. So these two planets are going back into their ruling signs, and they're going to work together to make power moves, because earth and fire make that kind of dynamic or create that kind of energy out into the world. And so when we see both of them in action, we know that this applies to how people view the government and how people want to reform the laws. We are seeing a lot of that, but I feel like during this time, that's when a lot of these things are going to get pushed forward, hopefully not pushed backwards. We're going to see a lot of people trying to change old ways, old traditions, and really trying to embrace something new in society. We're also going to see a shift of power from government to people. And again, we've already been seeing a lot of that now, but it feels more aggressive this time. It feels more like, we don't trust you anymore. So you have to take the actions necessary for us to rebuild that bridge with one another. Many people are going to continue to fight for justice, and many people may get hurt in the process. And I'm scared for that too. I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But a lot of people still feel like they're being silenced, and a lot of things that have happened in the past are starting to resurface. Thanks to this Mercury in retrograde, a lot of the things from the dark are coming to light. And these are things that we have to confront as individuals or confront as a society. Whichever way it goes, they're just coming one after the other. And I know you've been seeing it. So we're seeing a lot of change happening here, okay? So let's go back a little bit into this Mercury retrograde and how I said things are coming from dark to light. I don't know if you've noticed right now, but a lot of influencers, a lot of these people, political figures or authoritative figures and influencers and celebrities are being exposed for things in their past right now. And they are being, I just said that like 3 times, but they're being exposed for harmful actions. And I want you to remember that keyword actions, because it's going to come around a lot during the Mars in Aries. And it's going to get worse. So more and more people are going to be taken into the square to be judged by their peers. So this social justice will be a big thing. And I feel like the only way for people to handle this is to be vulnerable, is to utilize these energies from Neptune and Mercury, and to just be open and honest and be completely transparent about everything that you've done before. So if you feel like you're on the receiving end, and you might not be an influencer, you might not be these things, but if you do get exposed in your personal life for things that happened in the past, the best thing you can do is not to get defensive, but to just listen to the person that's hurt and try to just be transparent and open and genuine about what happened during that time. And I feel like that's when the healing can begin. That's when trust can be rebuilt, and it's gonna allow the person to give you a second chance. All right. You don't want to abuse that energy though, because everybody is sensitive and everybody can feel everything right now. They will know right away if you are telling the truth or not. They'll know. And it's just going to be bad for you and more intense if you stick to a lie than sticking to the truth. Okay. So with that being said, Saturn also will affect our finances. So listen very carefully. Trying to be successful and trying to create change in our personal lives will be more challenging during this time. It feels like a lot more pressure from the world, from the universe to get ahead, and you'll be met with some tough obstacles. But because Mars is in Aries, it's going to bring out again that warrior in you, where you're more motivated to take on these challenges. So you're more driven and you're more fearless, and you're like, I'm just going to do it. And you're going to see a lot of people making impulsive decisions, maybe even bad decisions, hopefully not. And so you need to think before you act. You need to make sure that you're not just jumping into something before you know everything that's going on. You don't want to sign any contracts right now where you're going to be stuck like a long-term commitment, and it's a bad contract for you, or it's just a bad commitment. And this can apply to relationships as well. You might feel very passionate about somebody new, or you might feel very passionate about getting married, or, taking the next step in a relationship. But before you do any of these things, I recommend that you sit down with yourself and or with your partner and just make sure that you guys are completely compatible, because the Mercury in retrograde can create confusion and fogginess. Our intuition is off. And so we may feel compelled to make these life-changing decisions right now and then regret them later. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that this person's not the one for you. I'm just saying make sure you just do a checklist of things. Make sure there's no red flags is what I'm saying. Make sure there's no red flags. I know it's been overwhelming for me. Like today was really hard for me. I had to purge myself. And when I say purge myself, I had to cry today. And there's nothing wrong with crying. I want you guys to know that. Always embrace how you feel and your emotions. Never try to hold anything in. Don't be ashamed, and don't feel guilty for feeling. Okay? Even if you're angry, even if, you're sad, any emotion that you may have, don't feel ashamed for feeling that way. Don't feel guilty, because your feelings are valid. There's a reason behind these feelings. And it's up to you to figure out the root of those issues, the root of the pain and the hurt, and learning how to work with those different types of energies will be more healthier for you as a person and for the people that you're dealing with, okay? So I really pray for your guys' safety, your health, your protection. And we're just going to ask God to protect us. And we're just going to ask God to protect people right now. It's going to be a little hectic and chaotic, but it just has to get done. It just has to be, it has to be right now. You know what I'm saying? So if the Mercury retrograde has been tough for you as well, just remember to sit with yourself, be a friend to yourself, be kind to yourself, love yourself during your weakest moments, love yourself more when you're at your strongest moments. But you need yourself more when you're extra vulnerable and sensitive, and start returning that energy to yourself if you've just been giving it away freely, you know? And that's all I really have to say. So I will see you guys next week. I hope that you enjoyed, or you will enjoy my new shows, my series. I don't know what people call this on YouTube, but the videos. I was thinking of doing a new series too, you guys. I did place a poll for criminal investigation and astrology because, you know, I'm just a scary person, so it's befitting. And I know. But I wanted to do that, but I'm not sure who to start with first. So if you want to comment below and tell me who you think I should start with, then let me know who, and I'll start my stalking. I'll start my investigation. The rules are, though, that these people either have to be already imprisoned or they're passed away already, or historical figures from back in the days. And I have to be able to find their birth chart. Otherwise, it's just, there's no point of looking into them. But just leave a comment. And I'll see you guys later on. Okay, bye.